morning, Vietnam. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of It's Only Monday podcast. This is the podcast below pepping yourself. This is a podcast making Monday feel like a Friday. This is the podcast to get your Mondays going. It feels so good to say that again. How you guys doing? I hope you guys having a great Monday morning, whether you are going to drop the kids off for school, whether you're going to work, whether you're going to the gym, whether you're coming back from a late night work job, that's overnight shift, whether you are about to go grocery shopping, whether you're in the gym, whether you're chilling, whether you're doing whatever you're doing right now. I just want to thank you for being here. You could be anywhere in the world, and you actually are, because the power of the internet makes that possible. So thank you guys. I'm your boy JT, and let's get right into what we're talking about today. So this one, we're in what? Going into the third month of the year soon. We're in the second month of the year. I hope you guys are, doing what you need to do to get ready. I think life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So, you don't have to be like moving and shaking January 1st. And, you can be gearing up and getting things ready for when you want to plan your whatever it is you're planning, right? But I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're keeping good. First things first, we got to thank God for another day. Some people didn't get a chance to see one. You did. So we got to thank God for another day. All right, y'all. So what are we talking about today? Today, I want to talk about, I saw a post by an actress that's very famous. And she said something. I'm not going to cut the post in. I'm not going to cut it in. I'm going to paraphrase what she said. But she was going on auditions, and she went on auditions, and her grandmother told her that the average actor doesn't get booked until 64 auditions. And she took that information that her grandmother told her, and she went on audition after audition. And in her mind, she was thinking, it's not until 64 auditions where I should expect my first booking. And she actually ended up getting booked, I think, on her 43rd audition. And her acting agent said to her, how was it possible that you could have done all those, auditions and not given up? Like, many actors give up at 15, 20, like way before that. You went all the way to 43. And she said it was because, she didn't know the number, but she said you went so far. And her answer was, because of the story of what her grandmother told her, that 64 was the average of where someone actually gets booked. So, there's no point in trying to worry about 29, 28, 38, anything else like that. Let's go see the average first and then to see what happens. And it just really sparked something in me to want to share with you guys, which is that mindset, which I love. I love that mindset, because a lot of times it's a logical mindset, taking, the averages of things. But there's also still consistency and tenacity in there, and still the fact that you're still going for your dream, but being realistic in, how this thing really works out. A lot of times, let me just fix up my mic here. Feels like it's going down. A lot of times people will, want things faster than they actually would get it. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at Instagram. Instagram is a place of instant gratification. Like, let's break down Instagram. And I'm going to use this because we all have social media. We all have Instagrams. And I think it's training us in the wrong way, because I think it's training people to have certain thoughts that aren't realistic in society, and it doesn't reflect what's going on. It puts you in a bubble of thinking things will happen faster than they're supposed to, and you're late to the game or whatever it is. So for this actress, for example, looking at, let's say if she looked at social media and was looking at like all the other people around her that are actors and actresses that were getting booked, and some get booked on their 10th time, some people blow on their first time, some people 2000th time, right? But within social media on Instagram, there's this instant gratification thing that happens, right? Like, people will post something and you expect a like, you expect something to happen. It's very gamified, like a video game. So with all that things, within like social media being very like instant gratification, and it's a place where, you have things happening right away. Like, the name itself says it, like instant, right? And we live in a world of Instacart. Everything instantly comes, right? It's all about that. But we lost the idea of patience and going deep. I've been reading this book called Deep Work. I'm not finished it yet. And the main consensus of the book, Deep Work, is about being able to focus on your work to go deep, right? To be able to be not distracted and just focus on something, to be able to get into that level of work where you're really just in it. And to get there, it takes a while. You can't have like the world we live in nowadays, like there's answering emails and doing this, and you're doing all these surface level tasks. So you don't get a chance to actually go deep into your work and like really get into that level and that stride and pull some great stuff because you're so entrenched with what you're doing. And to get there, it's almost like I don't want to say a trance, to get like someone hypnotize you into being able to be into deep work, but it's almost like being able to work so long and so focused for a while. It allows you to go into almost like a hypnotic state while you're, working. That's not what the book really says. This is what I'm saying. But I'm still reading it. But it just makes me think about the fact that, with the story of patience from the actress to the instant gratification that we live in when it comes to social media and the world we live in and Instacart and things just constantly coming, it made me realize like patience is something that most people we don't have anymore. And you might say, well, why do we need it? Things should come. You might say, well, why do we need it? Things should come to us like instantly anyways, like if that's the case. But I think it's affecting people in a way where that thought process of 10,000 hours to be great at something is gone. They maybe they're saying, how did I get over here? Well, follow me now. Follow me. They say to be great at anything, it takes 10,000 hours, right? And we see, people learn things and are automatically, naming themselves a professional in it, naming themselves a self-proclaimed whatever in it, right? You learn something for 20 minutes and now you're the professional. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Or showcasing what you've learned so far. But because I think of this instant gratification world, people are just not getting a chance to go deep anymore with things. It's so distracted. It's so impatient, our world at this moment. Everyone wants things to happen now. And looking at different things, people think things happen faster than it actually does. It was funny. I was listening to a podcast with I think Patrick Bet-David and also I forget his name, the guy from Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And both of them said, the thing that they said was that I think it was 2020 was the year that they made the most money they ever made in their life, right? And I thought about that. I'm like, well, these are people that have been rich or well off for a very long time, but yet that is the year they've made the most money they've ever made in their life. And it made me think like, a lot of people out here right now, and I'm just using money right now to talk in the context because we all understand currency, but you can really flip this into anything else, like anything else that's important to you, anything else that, you can change what I'm talking about here. But whether it's work, whether it's career, whether it's skills, whether it's relationships, whether it's money, whether it's whatever it is, sports and whatever, you have to really realize that the amount of effort you're putting into these things and expecting the return on it, there is a level of patience that's needed, like very, very needed, very well. Like not just like, okay, I expect this to happen. That it's whatever you expect, tack on a little bit longer. And it's not saying for being successful in it fully. It's saying to really be where your mind envisions. Because a lot of times you think very big, right? Grandiose. You're not going to think something that's just like, oh, I want to do this. And it's like not that far away from what's reality, but it's not too far into delusion. But, it will take a lot of work. But even that, you kind of shortcut it. Like, let's say someone says, I want to be in a movie. You might say, okay, it's going to take me 5 years to land a big movie role. Realistically, it might take you 15 to land like the biggest movie role of that's really a big movie role. So what is this all to say anyways? The whole point I'm trying to make here is if we can take things that we first put away the instant gratification, put away the instant everything, because I think it's warping all our minds in a way where we don't understand time anymore. And I know I started saying this podcast is time is a construct, which it is, but it's still a level to measure, for lack of a better word right now, time. And I hate trying to define something with the same word. So let me say, it's still a measurement to define things happening in sequence over and over again and calculating how many multiples of that has happened, if that makes sense. But yes, if we keep this instant mindset, instant noodle, instant gratification, Instagram, Instacart. Whoa. Josh from the future here. Have to give you some quick information. Listen, if you are listening to this podcast by audio, you're good. Don't worry about this. But if you're watching the video version of this, just gotta let you know, after this part here, my camera just decided to stop recording. Hey, it is what it is, but it was good. And I don't want to have to re-record that part because it was good. I think it was great. It was in the moment. It is what it is. So I'm just going to not have the visual here from this point on. But again, if you're listening to it from an audio standpoint, you're good to go. Anyways, it's only the last couple minutes anyway, so should be good. But yeah, Josh from the future, I'm out. You're going to not be able to really realize how close you are to what you're trying to obtain and how far you are to what you're trying to obtain. And I think that's important. I think knowing how close and how far, not an exact, but roughly, is what's going to keep you on the path, keep you going, keep you motivated, keep you disciplined, and also keep you happy on the way. Because I think the one thing is important is people in general, I think everyone, all of us, but I'm saying this because, again, I think I do a good job at doing this, is no matter what path you're on and what you're trying to obtain, still being able to have fun on the way of doing that. Too many people want something and it's like they think they have to take away all joy and happiness from themselves to be able to obtain that, which is not true. Like, let's say you want like an amazing body. Obviously, you're going to have to work out for it. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but that doesn't mean that your life is suffering in order to get that, right? Obviously, it depends to the level what you're trying to go for. You're trying to be a bodybuilder. Like, I understand it's going to be a lot of work, but you should still be having fun along the way. And I think that's the problem that's happening with the level of how instant things people think is supposed to be when it's really not. And then the discrepancy of like what the averages of things are. And then not having the joy along the way to getting those things. I know there's like a bunch of different points I'm putting there, locking together, but I think this Monday morning, the whole point I'm trying to tell you today is, one, be patient with yourself with what you're doing, and two, enjoy yourself along the way. Because everybody says this, man. Every single person that like you watch their interviews of when they said like, oh, telling their stories of their way to success, they always glorify the days on the way up. Rarely, seldom are they talking about what it's like when they finally make it there. It's all about the journey. And I know people say that all the time. The journey is what it's about. The journey. Like, yo, forget, I've been on a journey for this long. Forget the journey, bro. But it's true. The journey is what is the exciting part. It's where so many things happen. If you can have fun while you're on the journey, whether it's tough or not, that's where you're going to be. And I think I've said this in another episode. Like, that's where your story comes from. That's where people actually are going to be inspired by, right? But along the journey, it takes patience. It takes trying again and again and again. And that's the problem. I think a lot of times we try a couple times. We think trying 20 times is a lot. And we don't even look at the averages of like what it really takes to do whatever we're trying to do is maybe 50 times. Maybe it's 1,000 times. But you saw a couple people do it 10 times and you're like, oh, they did it 10 times. I'm better than them and whatever it is. I should be able to do it 5. And if I don't, we'll forget this. No. All right. So today, this Monday morning, I just want you to do some homework. This is what the homework is going to be. It's going to be one, the same way that actress was able to find out the average of what the average actor, hold on. The same way that actress was able to find out the average of auditions an actor went on before they booked their first role. The homework I have for you is to find the average of whatever it is you're trying to obtain in life, whatever your goal is, whatever your dreams are, whatever. Find the average of that. If your dream is to make, I don't know, $1 million, right? I'm just, again, something simple to say because I think we all understand currency. If that's your goal, average out how many people in your city make $1 million, how many people in your country make $1 million, how many people in the world make $1 million, and then look at the average and break it down that way. How long does it take people to make their first million? Average that out. How do people average? All that kind of stuff. I think if you find the average in a logical way, it's going to help you from being discouraged. It's going to help you from, leaving the party before it actually got started for you. You know what I mean? So this Monday morning, I think that is the main thing of that. Patience is obviously the underlining talking point here, but I think the active action that you can take is understanding the average of whatever it is you're trying to do. Okay. And realizing where you sit there. A lot of times you think things are worse and you're actually well off than the average, which, for you, maybe it makes you realize, oh, wow, like, okay, whether, hopefully that doesn't do something bad for you, but it should inspire you to make you realize, oh, wow, and then have a sense of realism within things, but also understand how far your delusion can actually go for like the big dreams and keep going from there. And then overall, maybe the practice I want you to have is, kind of step back from the instant things. I think we had a life back in the day, and some of you might be too young to know this, and some of you are older and do know this, where, like television shows, I used to have to wake up, go to school, do everything, and then come home, and my favorite TV show might be on at 7 p.m. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer was on at 7 p.m. and I would come watch it 7 p.m., watch the episode, commercial comes on, wait, episode comes back, watch it. I think it was 30 minutes back then, whatever. And then episode's done. I gotta wait till next week to watch the next one. Now we're in a world where, my favorite show is out and there's 8 episodes out right now. I'm going to binge it all this Saturday and watch it all at one time, right? And you might say that, well, that's harmless, but I think it is affecting us in our brains and how we expect things to be in this world, which is why everything keeps moving so fast and there's no appreciation for a lot of things anymore. Everything has become like microwavable, just fast food in a way, everything. So I do think if you're able to train yourself to understand, to have a little bit of patience in those type of ways too, I think you will approach things a lot differently and with a lot more maturity and patience in general. That's me. With that being said, I just want to thank you guys for being here. This is another episode of It's Only a Monday podcast. I'm your boy JT. Go out, do good, do great, have a great day. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.